Now that we've seen that you can break off some UVs and assign those UVs individually onto this character, let's do something else. What if you had many more sayings and they're not within this texture? We can assign a new texture just to a selected bunch of UVs. Let me go off on this side. I'm going to select maybe these two faces, or maybe these four faces. Right-click, assign new material, and select Lambert. These faces have a new material on it, which is excellent. This is how you would take an object and just reassign different materials to that one object by selecting the faces, right-click, assign new material, and pick your material. Here I'm doing this because I want to assign some new tattoos to this character. I'll go to Lambert 4 for its color slot. I'll connect it to a file, and that file will be the tattoo JPEG file. There's the tattoo JPEG. Zoom into these four faces right here that I want to be part of my new tattoo. I'm going to separate these UVs by selecting these edges going around. Right click, cut so, cut. Right click again and go to the UV shell level. Select this UV shell, and now I'm going to move it up to our image area. Small compared to everything else. Let me scale it, the R key. That will make it bigger. If I did the type sideways, this way, you can see that you could also rotate UVs. E key. Hold down the J key and drag the gizmo to constrain it. Snap it. W key, and I'll move the shell right here. Scale it maybe just a little bit. R key. And there you go. This shows how you can assign a new material to selected faces. And by doing so, you can also do the UV thing, selecting a bunch of UV edges, right-clicking, cutting those away, then going back to the UV shell level and migrate those UVs to someplace else on that texture map in order to reposition the images. With that done, I could go back to the shell level again, and it might be easier for me to select it out here, right-click, and then come here, right-click, UV shell, with the move tool, and then click. Now I can move it over here. But Happy's facing the wrong way. Happy is upside down, which is kind of cool, but we want a right side up Happy, and that's accomplished by rotating the UV shell again. E key for rotation, J key for snapping as you rotate around. And there's Happy. You could also flip these UVs. To mirror the UV is called flipping them. Go under Modify, Flip, and you can open up the Properties box. How to flip them, horizontally or vertically. If I click Apply for horizontally, got it upside down. Click Apply again, goes this way. If I want to flip it vertically, so it's written backwards like in a mirror, click the vertical button and click Apply. What this is doing is just flipping around the UV coordinates within this space. The UV editor is still focused in on these UVs. So if I want to move around the UVs for the original one, which is a smiley face, that's a separate texture. You look here in the texture maps. That is this first Lambert, Lambert 3, and Lambert 4 is our tattoos. Get back to focusing in on the Lambert 3 shader. I'm going to just select a face here or here. Any UV or face that's attached to that shader. If I want to get back to the tattoo shader, which is this one, just click on the tattoo area. The UV editor will focus in on that image. If you're not seeing an image, click this icon right up here. And this turns on and off the preview of the image within the UV editor. It doesn't affect how the shader is showing the image out in the viewport, nor will it affect the rendering of this object. So this is just for previewing the image in the UV editor panel. Switch back to the smiley face, just click on one of the smiley faces, UVs, or faces.